Imagine your music hitting new heights when you get signed to Defected Records, one of the pinnacles of house music globally. How'd that feel? Pretty great, right? I'd love to make a record and get signed to Defected and be part of that massive history. But how do you get signed to Defected Records? That is what I'm going to look at today. Let's do this. Before we get started, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel. We have brought down the percentage of people that are not subscribed over the last year down to 54%. Thank you all on those subscribers. We have new videos every week now, and we have 2 demo feedback sessions which are live with me and my assistant, Touring Records, Data Transmission, Lord Secker, every Monday and Wednesday on the channel from 1 PM. And the more the subscribers, the bigger the A&R representatives we can get from bigger labels, which is going to help you overall. Also, the more subscribers, the more we can do with this channel, and the more it's going to then help you in the long run. And I promise to make it better and better and better. So hit the subscribe button and let's get into this video. Defected Records is now 26 record labels at the time of recording this video in 2024, and they are constantly growing. Since their management buyout in 2022 by Wes Saunders and his team have taken over running Defected from the legendary Simon Dunmore, who started Defected, they have now pushed the levels even further. They're now up to 100 members of staff, more record labels, and much more output of music. So by saying I want to sign to Defected Records, that's quite a wide statement. Which part of Defected is right for you? So the first step really is which label under their umbrella of labels is going to be right for you to sign to. And if we navigate to their website, they have a full list of the labels that are under their umbrella and how you can send demos to them. But wait, before you do that, before you just upload a demo to each of them and spam the hell out of all of them, let's look at some steps to make this a better and easier process, but also give you more opportunities for getting signed. Number 1, research. Like I said, let's work out which label you need to be sending to first. Take some time to go and listen to each of the labels and work out what the sound is for each of the label. Go to their SoundCloud, go to their Beatport. And when I say go to Beatport, don't just listen to the top 10 of that label, because in that top 10, there might be previous releases from many years ago that are still peaking in their top 10 of that label, but aren't actually the sound of the label right now. You're actually better listening to the pre-order music to see what music's coming out. If you get promos from that label, for instance, go and check out those. Or actually what you can do is go to Defected's website, and each of the labels that they represent, you can listen to the music and the most recent music that's been released. And that's what's key here. Really understand the labels' differences, what each label's putting out, and then that will make the demo submission less hit and hope. I know some of you will just blast a demo to each of the labels, and good luck to you if you do that, but I think it's epic fail. Keep it focused and to the point to the label you want to try and send to. Number 2, label radar. Okay, now you've worked out what label you want to send it to. Defected has a label radar inbox for each of those labels, and on their demo upload section of their website, you can actually upload directly to each of those labels into their label radar inbox. Defected actually announced a partnership with Label Radar via Music Business Worldwide, which read, Defected has collaborated with demo submission platform Label Radar to streamline the demo submission process for emerging talent. Through this partnership, Defected A&R team will gain access to Label Radar's demo submission process, allowing aspiring artists worldwide to showcase their work to key decision makers in the music industry. Wes Saunders, CEO and owner of Defected Records, said, having worked with developing acts for nearly 2 decades, finding and nurturing new talent is high on my agenda. Demos have historically been a challenge for us. However, with Label Radar, we believe we've found a solution that will help streamline this process and enable our A&Rs more quality time to check and review demos for labels within the Defected ecosystem. So, as mentioned, Defected have an actual person on the end of each of those demo submission boxes with Label Radar, and they are listening to demos through that submission process. And then what will happen is they'll listen to those, they'll choose the best ones, and they'll take them into an in-house A&R meeting for them to discuss further and further. So that is definitely worth giving it a try. But again, send it to the right label for your music. Repeating point 1. But this is still a bit of a cold email. If they don't know your name and they don't know what you've done previously and they don't know you, this is still very, very cold email, and you might get overlooked. It happens. Number 3, personal relationships. Imagine how much stronger your submission is if you have a personal relationship with the A&R on the end of that demo box. You've made a face-to-face connection with that label A&R. They know who you are, you know who they are, and I know when that happens, they're more likely to give it a listen. Always remember, people sign music off other people. In other words, friends sign music from friends. So our next step is, how do we find the label A&R and how can we get their attention to meet them face to face? Like I said, each of those labels has a different A&R, and you need to find out who that is and get to know them. Some of the A&Rs will be DJs that lead their own labels. For instance, Sound Divine with Defined Sounds, Melvo Baptiste with Glitterbox, Seamus Hadji and Big Love, Kid phonique for the Defected sounds. But also, Defected has another team of A&Rs in-house that are working across all the music. And you can find some of these A&Rs on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram by doing simple searches. Okay, now you know who they are. I still wouldn't go steamrolling in there and still blast a demo. Let's do a bit more and take a bit more time. By just emailing that person, you're still a cold email. You've still not done a bit more research. You've still not done a bit of digging. You've still not had a bit more connection with them. They may have heard of you from previous releases, but that is a slim chance. So let's bring that probability up a little bit. So the next step is to get to know that person signing the music. You know their name? Let's try and meet them. And you can do this in many ways with Defected. First up, dance music conferences, ADE, IMS, Miami Music Week, Berlin Dance Event. You will always find that Defected have a good representation at dance music conferences. And if you aren't sure what I mean when I say a dance music conference, you should check out this video 100% next, because I explain what dance music conferences are and how to get the best out of them as DJs and producers. This time of year, February, as we're recording this is the time when you need to be thinking about what you're going to be doing for the rest of the year and booking up those spaces so you get the cheaper tickets, you get the cheaper accommodation, and it makes it much more accommodating for you. These conferences go out throughout the year and they're pivotal for meeting people within the industry. They are first and foremost the best way to network with anyone in this industry. They also give you key dates within your calendar, and that for us as Data Transmission, we set a lot of things around what's happening within those periods up to conferences, after conferences, and especially with ADE, what's happening next year. Speaking of conferences, I was just at the Nighttime Industries Conference in Manchester last week, and Griff Harding, the A&R manager for Defected, was speaking. Firstly, and surprisingly, said a lot of the big releases have come from Splice vocals, so they're not discounting Splice vocals at Defected. But also this year, they want to hear that big classic house sound. They want to hear slower beats as well. They're not so fan of the faster music if you're making that faster sound. Songwriting is important for them. Speaking to Wes Saunders, going into further into the future, the Afro house sound, they're really into that as well. So if you're in any of those spaces, you could be in, my friends. Okay, conferences are a great place to start with Defected for sure, but there are some other places with Defected that are great places too. For those that are in traveling distance to the UK, and I know some of you might not be that watch these videos, and actually, let's have a little bit of a poll in the comments. Drop the flag of where you're from in the comments. I'd love to see the wide breadth of people that watch these videos. Go and do that right now. For those that are in the UK or UK can travel to UK, Defected hosts regular parties in the basement of their office. They actually have a club in the basement of the office. How cool is that? And this is a great place to meet all of the Defected staff because they hang out and have a drink. And you can get invites by keeping an eye on the social media of the club. They actually have a club social media. Go and find that. And I'll link to that again below. For those that aren't in the UK, most of the UK figurehead DJs for those in-house labels play across the world at some time within the year. Lots of them are touring DJs, and you will find, no doubt, they'll come to your country soon. Go and meet them, hang out with them, try and get that little 5 minutes with them after a gig. Getting that face-to-face with somebody really helps. This in-person contact can be the difference of getting a record signed and not. Okay, so we know who they are. Maybe you've met them. This is a great start to getting music signed. Once you've met that person and met the A&R or met that person signing the record, this is going to be much easier, and it's much less of a cold email that you're sending for that demo email. It's much more likely to get opened, to get your tracks listened to, and hopefully get it signed. The response rate is much higher for sure. When it comes to sending that email, do you need a handy checklist of things that you need to make sure you do, and a sample email that I've written for you to make it easier to send that demo email? If you do, I've made a free download which is in the description and pinned in the first comment. Go and download that today and go and grab that. You can literally use it for all your demo submissions, not just for Defected. Okay, so what if you can't go and meet them? You live in a remote part of the world and you can't go and meet these people. How can you connect with them? That leads me on to point number 4, social media. Can't meet someone? Then it's about starting the conversation in the DMs. You know the right people because you've done that research across their other channels. So let's start having conversations with them in messages. Utilize one of these key social media platforms, either Instagram, TikTok, SoundCloud. Still, these are all killer platforms for building music in 2024 and build a following for you and your music. Drop teasers of the tracks on these platforms. And yeah, I'm still including SoundCloud in that. Drop a 1 minute, 2 minute teaser and get your audience chatting about tracks. Get a fan base into them and build some heat around that music. And then once you've got heat in that music, by either plays, comments, engagements across the platform that you choose, could be video views, then that's going to help you get that music signed. And if you're not sure how to build on the platform that you've chosen and you're not sure which tactics to use, go to the homepage of this channel. I've got a playlist for each of the platforms: YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram. And it'll teach you how to grow more audience on those platforms. Now, you can build heat on those platforms and build heat on the music. And then when you send that demo email, maybe you've got a video that's popped where you've got someone playing your track. Accompanying that with the demo email and the demo, it's got interest. It's going to help that music get signed. And that's definitely going to be interesting for big labels like Defected. I'd also definitely recommend having stuff going on around yourself before you start sending music to these bigger labels. You've had previous releases, you've got music going on, you've got content going on, you look good across your social media. As much as labels don't say they're not going to do that, they will have a peek at everything. And A&R can build a bigger picture of you as a DJ and a producer. Another thing I would definitely do with these labels that have big DJs is sometimes it's not about going to ask for the track to be signed. Sometimes it's just about sending them a track to see if it fits their DJ sets and get them into it as a DJ first and foremost. Get them playing your music and give them something exclusive they've not got, that no one else has got, for their sets alone. Hey Sam, I've got a brand new track, I've just finished making it, I've been listening to loads of your sets online, I think it might fit what you're playing, would you mind checking it out? Really, really simply and nice. And if you're giving them something that's exclusive, that's a big thing for a DJ, especially touring DJs that plays different sets. And then once you get that lead DJ behind it, then that's going to help that music get signed. If they're into it and playing it, then it becomes very, very easy for them. Number 5, can you go old school? What do I mean here? Can't take someone out for a drink or a coffee to talk to them and sell them your new music and you as an artist? Can you send it to them in the post? I've seen it before. People will bubble wrap a beer, send it with their USB stuck on the side in the post to the Defected office, to the A&R, that they know who's the right person, with a little note saying, I'd love to take you out for a beer to talk to you about my music, but I can't do that. Here's a beer to enjoy while you listen to my music. Those little old school tactics go such a long way, and that USB is definitely getting listened to. Make sure when you do send that USB, it is got all your information. It's all your tracks titled with your name, you've got an email address, you've got a picture, stuff in your USB, and that person, the A&R, if they like that music, can find you easily. Do you need some more ears on your demo before you send it off to Defected? You need someone to listen to it and give it a once over and say, oh, you should try and think about doing this first, or you think about changing this first, or by adding this, it's going to make it much stronger demo. Well, that is what we do on this channel on Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 PM in the UK, live, me and Losec are in this shed listening to demos. If you want to submit a demo, then you need to be part of our Discord server and join us on Discord. The link again is in the description. 1 demo per session for us to listen to and for us to feed back on. So many records have been signed from us feeding back over the last 12, 18 months. The people make the changes and then they'll message me privately and say, hey Graham, I got that record signed. Thanks for your feedback. It made the world. It meant that I got that record signed. So if you need that help, we do that live on this channel and via our Discord. Come and join us. It's great fun. Defected Records is maybe not your goal. Maybe Touring Records is your goal. Did you watch this video where I break down how to get signed to Touring Records instead? If you haven't checked out the video, go and check it out next. Before you jump over there, don't forget to give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel. We give out 2 videos a week and 2 demo feedback sessions every week. So there's plenty going on my YouTube channel. Come and be part of our fam on YouTube. Come and be part of our shed heads and join us on YouTube. Right, time to click and go over to that video and go and watch that, and I'll see you in that video to talk about how to get signed to Touring Records. I'll see you over there. I've been Grahame Farmer. See you soon. Bye-bye.